What is up, everybody? This is Atticus, the Death Metaler, and welcome to the longly awaited part 2 of the 2K subscriber special. Here on this special, here on parts 2, we're going to be discussing a lot of very fucked up traumatic memories of my childhood. Now, I like to think your movie sucks for actually starting this whole trend a while back, but I really want to thank my buddy Prince Paranormal for actually making his video of this whole thing. I highly recommend you check out Prince Paranormal's video on the whole thing, and as well as please subscribe to his channel. He is formerly known as Rugrats, who made my intros and outros, and he did a collab with me last year, but he makes some really good content, and please, like, for the love of fucking God, please subscribe to his channel. Now that is out of the way, let us start this whole fucking countdown of shit that traumatized me when I was a little twat stain. So, enjoy! Yes, people, believe it or not, this handsome motherfucker that listens to non-stop metal, is into horror films, and enjoys games and shows that involve a lot of gratuitous and explicit themes, was actually once a sweet, small, and innocent autistic twat that was pretty much scared shitless on many things growing up as a child. Yes, poke and laugh at me all you want. I was a major pussy back when I was very young. Then again, all of you twerps were probably scared shitless on a lot of stuff growing up. And I think it's a good thing that we share our experiences, that we had things back in the day that scared us when we were little. So, without further ado, here we go with the countdown. Number 10. Now, if you know me best and know me personally, when I was in the 5th grade, that was the time when I got exposed to The Lord of the Rings. With the Two Towers game on PS2, and later watched The Fellowship of the Ring, and in early 2003 saw The Two Towers, and later 2003 saw one of my most favorite movies of all time, The Return of the King. I think it's safe to say that Lord of the Rings played a very important role in my late childhood and early teen years. Now, why is this on my list of traumatic childhood memories? Well, when you think of Lord of the Rings, you think I was probably shitting myself in the theater on the orcs, Uruk-hai, Nazgul, Trolls, Balrog, Shelob, the Dead, and Gollum, that crazy bath salt looking motherfucker. But no, not at all. In fact, all those terrifying monstrosities that serve the Dark Lord Sauron did not scare me. But the one thing that really freaked me the fuck out on The Fellowship, and of course, I'm gonna bring this up, was when Bilbo was giving Frodo a lot of his treasured gifts for his perilous journey into the lands of Mordor. He then looks at the one ring around Frodo's neck, and well, this happens. I think it was safe to say that when I first saw this scene, my balls receded into my uterus. And I don't even have a fucking uterus! Every time I would watch The Fellowship, I would always skip that one fucking scene because of how fucking mental Bilbo was. As I am now 25 years old, I look at this as a cheap laugh and yet very disturbing. Remember, kids, the One Ring is one hell of a drug. Number 9. The Sandlot was probably one of my most favorite childhood movies I would watch when I was bored or finished homework of the matter. Scotty Smalls, who is friends with Benny, a really talented neighborhood baseball player, works up the courage to be part of Benny's team, as well as fit in with his baseball crew. They would soon find themselves in a predicament where Scotty's baseball, signed by the great Bambino himself, is over the backyard of Mr. Myrtle's house, where he keeps a monstrous, scary as fuck dog known simply as the Beast. A behemoth mastiff that would take baseballs and add them to his collection like how Smaug laid around on his humongous treasure. But what scared me was when Scotty learns of the legend of the beast, told by Squints. Squints told the legend of the beast where Mr. Myrtle adopted a pup from the shelter, fed the pup huge quantities of meat, where he grew into this humongous hound of hell, protecting the junkyard Myrtle operated at the time. It was a haven for criminals and crooks, ills of the society, but when the beast grew to full strength, he moved from huge slabs of meat to eating the ills of society. I know that Squints over-exaggerated the story, but the tone of the music as well as how the beast was portrayed in that sequence, that was a good old bit of nightmare fuel for me. The most amazing thing about it is how I would calmly watch this whole Sandlot movie, and yet when I would go to bed, I would have reoccurring nightmares on that particular scene of the Legend of the Beast. But at least the beast in the end was just a good old doggo at heart. Number 8. Back in the early 2000s, I was just getting my starts onto my obsession with metal, starting with such bands like Disturbed, System of a Down, Slipknot, and, on this list, Korn. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love Korn, especially their 2003 release, Take a Look in the Mirror, which in my opinion is the best album they have ever made. I fucking loved the album with such songs like Did My Time, Everything I Know, Play Me, Let's Do This Now, Y'all Want a Single, and the song on this list, Right Now. Now, it was not the song that scared the shit out of me. I fucking loved the song. But it was the music video that really disturbed me. The whole music video was just some stupid dumbass looking dweeb that did nothing but fucking off himself. Now, personally, my stomach was churning like crazy, and it felt like I had needles being pierced around my abdomen when I saw this dumbass off himself for no apparent reason other than shock value. It was dark, disturbing, and really creepy that people would actually do this to themselves. Now, in that mindset as a preteen at the time, I was still quite sheltered as fuck on this type of shit, but as of right now, watching this video, I still get a bit of that same feeling time to time. But my personal opinion on the song Right Now, still a fucking badass song. And yeah, the music video doesn't really freak me out that much, as I am now 25. Number 7. We all know the synopsis of the series to many of us 90s kids. A brave little toddler named Tommy, a timid-ass ginger Chuckie, two twins with a fetish for mud, Phil and Lil, Tommy's bitch-ass of an older cousin Angelica, and on occasion, their token black friend Susie, would go on various adventures in the world of babies and youngins. Very sweet and innocent, right? Fuck no. There were some parts of that show that quite honestly scared the fuck out of me when I was a little kid. Now, I know I'm kind of cheating on this part because number 7 is split into 2 episodes, Under Chuckie's Bed and The Last Babysitter. In Under Chuckie's Bed, Chuckie must adjust to his new big boy bed and the fear of every young kid they had to fucking endure getting their so-called big boy or big girl bed, monsters under the fucking bed. We all went through that phase. Now, we all know in the end it was Charles's sweater under Chuckie's bed, but the first time Chuckie looks under his bed was what gave me a huge fear of monsters under the bed every single time.
There's no such things as monsters. There's no such things as monsters. There's no such...
On with The Last Babysitter, Tommy is over at Susie's place where her older sister is babysitting her as well as her 2 brothers while their parents are out. Everything is going fine and dandy till the lights go out. Susie and Tommy suspected as a monster since they were looking at a book of silly looking monsters. Except it was just Buster's friend just fucking around. But it was a part where Buster investigates the basement and comes back up flipping the fuck out, and where we see a shot where it shows the perspective of some creepy ass motherfucker running up the stairs along with the music adding to the suspense to my already flipping the fuck out mind. When I visited my grandmother's house at the time up in Michigan, I was always scared shitless of venturing down to her basement or my aunt and uncle's basement because they were both dark and creepy as fuck. I still get to see my grandmother who now resides in my aunt and uncle's place, and I always get that uneasy feeling when I look down to see the abyss of their basement. I could trace it back to that episode of Rugrats. Number 6. Oh, Batman, one of my all-time favorite superheroes growing up. I wasn't really into the comics of Batman, but I was a huge fan of the 1990s cartoons of Batman. Regardless if you were a fan of Batman for the cartoons or comics, because Batman was fucking awesome. Now, there was some episodes of that series that did kind of scare me, but nothing frightened me more than the episode The Laughing Fish. Basically, there was one scene where the Joker launches a swordfish missile full of laughing gas, where the victim laughs to his death. But it was the way on how he died was what gave me chills. That face right there, that fucking face creeps me the fuck out. I remember being frozen in fear, and every time that episode aired, I would skip to that part or where Batman gets the same treatment but survives. I don't know, my mind's a little bit vague remembering this shit. Still, nonetheless, this was a creepy ass moment. Number 5. I remember fondly that an old family friend of mine, Jake would be his name, would introduce me to some really cool shit. And for this traumatic memory, I remember when he was over and it was me, him, and my big brother Miles chilling and watching movies. This one being Blade 2. Oh, how Wesley Snipes was a fucking badass back then, kicking vampires' asses and shit, and not giving two fucks. But it was the Reapers in that movie that gave me the shivers when I was young. I remember the first time they opened their lower jaws like a fucking Venus flytrap and then sucked the very life force out of them. And me just staring at the screen, petrified in fear. And of course, it did not help that Miles, oh don't worry, he did way worse shit to me when I was young. Just stick around for a bit. But yeah, what made the Reapers even more scary looking was how they were virtually unstoppable to firepower, how their organs would go crazy when contacted with fresh blood, superhuman strength, and also the fucking lower jaw. But overall in time, I rewatched Blade 2 a couple of times, and I did not give a bother. Still pretty creepy though. Number 4. Yes, I will fully admit it, I watched the Powerpuff Girls growing up. Like, I just loved the fucking action behind it. Though, the typical raging progressive, if they saw me watching the show, they would think I'm some transgender, non-binary special snowflake, which I find bullshit, cause there were both boys and girls that loved the show. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Of course, I'm bringing up the villain, him, and only the villain, him. I always thought his character design looked pretty badass, a cross-dressing crab-clawed devil, but it was him's voice that gave me the bad case of the nopes. Like a cross-dressing crab-clawed devil we are talking about. He would sound so benign and sweet, but that charming haunted voice is ear poison at the end. It was the kind of voice that a really creepy aunt you barely talk to would sound like.
Snake babies. You didn't destroy them at all, did you?
That's kind of what him sounded like. And it also did not fucking help when he made those crazy ass outbursts too.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I love it when you girls fight.
I think you should fight more often.
Of all the Powerpuff Girls villains featured in the series, him was the one that had pretty sinister plans and shit. One I really remember was how he made the girls trapped in their own nightmares and shit, which was pretty fucking creepy on Bubbles' part because she had this scary fear of scary ass dolls in the dark. Regardless, him out of all the bad guys Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup had to beat the shit out of, him was the one that tapped in their deepest, darkest weaknesses and fears. Number 3. Now I know what you people are thinking. Atticus the Death Metaler, why is Sum 41 on this list? Now please keep in mind, Sum 41's entire discography was not fear-inducing to me. I in fact liked a couple of songs off of them, and back in the early 2000s, they were a pretty popular punk rock band. I remember my older brother used to listen the fuck out of them constantly, and I occasionally joined in. I mean, I was really not into metal at this time, so do not worry. But then I decided to listen to their album A Killer No Filler on my Walkman when Walkmen were a thing to carry around during those times. Man, I'm fucking old. But what stopped my heart and gave me a fucking panic attack was the intro to this album. The Introduction to Destruction. It had the most creepy ass Halloween style, and it sounded like a bunch of fucking ghosts emerging from a portal from the spirit world to haunt my ass. And not to mention that one dude who gave that introduction on the intro sounded like he was giving a satanic service. Like, listen to it, for example.
Children of the beast embrace, to scorn and hate the human race. Consume the light that hugs the earth.
Like, keep in mind, I was a Christian back then, so honestly, it felt like I was going to hell from listening to it. And I remember how I told you my brother would always tap into my fears when I was young. Well, he found out real quick that I was scared shitless over that intro. And every time I would walk around, play computer games, work on my homework, anything, he would always creep up behind me with a boombox, turn it up full fucking volume, and just laugh his ass off while I was screaming bloody fucking murder, pleading him in tears to make it fucking stop. Yes, I was fucking terrified over a fucking intro to a punk rock album. And if you're wondering if I'm still scared shitless over that intro, I listened to it right now, like not too long ago, and I'm completely facepalming on how much of a pussy I was back then. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Number 2. Yes, of course, I was going to bring the show up. Courage the Cowardly Dog. This was the show that scared us 90s millennials shitless. It had its funny moments, its dark moments, as well as its shit in your pants moments too. This was a show both me and my big brother Miles loved watching when I was growing up. Now I know a lot of people are gonna think I'm gonna say it's that fucking fetus off of that Perfect episode, but in truth it did not scare me, just weirded me out. And you might think it was that creepy ass clay animated bath salts bitch or Return the Slab guy, but you are sorely mistaken. The one character that almost made me evacuate my bowels was that of the episode House of Discontent, where Eustace, the grumpy old asshole he is, desecrates a fucking plant that died out in their residence in the middle of nowhere, go figure, and strange things go on in the Bag residence, where they hear a creepy ass voice say,
Get out.
"Ah, fuck, I gotta go change."
Must be hearing things.
And there they come across this thing. The Spirits of the Harvest Moon. A huge ass, bald floating fucking head with no eyes but big black holes that look like you're staring into the abyss. This right here was nightmare fuel. But sadly, this floating nightmare was number 2 on this list for a good reason. But anyway, the spirit was summoned for the sole reason that Eustace, the sour pickle he is, did not treat that dead plant with enough dignity. So either they must pack up and leave, or face serious dire consequences, aka locking them in the basement and raising the temperature skyrocketing high. Like, not only is the spirit scary as fuck, but goddamn, his punishments for disrespecting dead plant life are fucking cruel. Evidently, courage saves the night or day, whatever time zone you're in. by nursing the dead plant back to life with the sweat of Eustace, and therefore the spirit lets them off easy. But still, that spirit's soulless eye sockets and his chilling ass voice traumatized me when I was young. I would have nightmares thinking about him looming over my bed telling me to get out, but they were nothing in comparison to my number one pick. And oh my god, this number one pick. Oh! And number one. Yes, Billy and Mandy. A show about a mentally challenged Jew with a huge ass nose, which I swear his brain resides. A little girl that basically knows nothing but hate and I swear plans on being an authoritarian dictator in the future. And of course, they are accompanied by Death himself, whom is their best friend by force. By losing a limbo challenge for the soul of a hamster. This trio goes through lots of hilarious and wacky misadventures together, whether they go toe-to-toe with Nurgle, Eris, Hostelgado, Jeff, Spurg, and etc. But one episode in the series had one scene that scared me so much, I had nightmares about it for like a good portion of my late elementary and middle school years. And yes, it's the episode Tickle Me Mandy. The plot to this episode is that Mandy is going on vacation and Billy, being the dumbass retard he is, has separation anxiety over Mandy leaving him for one fucking day. So with the help of Graham, they make a new Mandy out of a melon, I think, along with wheels for legs and arms of a dinosaur toy. Basically, it turns out to be more of a creepy ass bitch that makes Billy uncomfortable throughout the day till it's nighttime, and Grimm sends him to go to sleep. And then this happens. It was that fucking look of horror on Billy that was gritty as fuck was what really petrified the fuck out of me. Of course, all the others on this list were scary and unnerving for me, yes, but I chose this as my number one pick because this haunted the fuck out of me for the 5th grade to the 8th and maybe even the 9th grade. Like, it was that nightmare fuel inducing. Like, I could picture the look of Billy right smack in my face and hear a scream of terror being attacked by new Mandy. And every time it was dark out and before I would turn the lights off in the hallway, I would run like a motherfucker to my motherfucking bedroom, fearing that that face would be smack middle of my face. That's how creepy that one part of that episode was for me. As I got older throughout high school, a lot of my childhood fears went away, buried, as I went on with my merry way, just growing up basically. But still, that fucking face is the stuff of nightmares. Now that this list is done, what were your traumatic childhood memories growing up? Leave your list down in the comments below, and if that doesn't help out, make your own videos on this whole thing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus the Death Metaler. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are in the description below. Keep it metal. Have a wonderful day.